Okay guys, so this is the third time I've tried to film this because my GoPro keeps messing up on me, so I'm hoping that this new SD card is actually going to work. The GoPro 2018, still a disappointment. But that's another story. Today we're going to actually try something else on this channel. Normally Moto Mike likes to post things about traveling, snorkeling, riding dirt bikes, my dual sport, all kinds of adventures like that, whether they're here on my farm or out somewhere like a national forest or national park. Well, today I'm going to blacksmith. Okay, I actually on the side like to blacksmith. One of my favorite things to do is take a railroad spike. You can tell by the end here that it's a spike, and I like to twist the handle and I like to make a knife out of it. This is a style, not my favorite. This is one of my favorites, one of my latest ones. As you can see, it's got like a dinosaur head here. Looks kind of like a raptor. Really like this style. I'll do a video on that probably in the future sometime. But it's real easy to do. But for today, we're just going to go with like a regular style, something like this, regular railroad spike knife. I don't think I'm going to do a tight twist like this, but I probably will do something like a twist like this, but where this one here has the flattened edges on the sides, I will go over how you do that. I actually like the flattened edges for a knife handle better. So we're going to do that. We're going to go out to the forge. I already got warmed up. I wanted to do the intro in here because the forge is kind of loud. I don't know how well the microphone of this GoPro will pick up me over the forge when I'm talking, but we'll find out today. Alright guys, so at this point straighten her out as you go. Now, one thing that you do need to watch for, hot metal on the ground, if you gotta look, we're starting to get a little fish mouth. Alright, fish mouths are really bad for a knife. A bad spot in the blade. So what you have to do, if you start hitting one, that's okay. Especially with material this thick. Material this thick's very forgiving. You got a lot to work with, and you can see it's still fairly thick. So I still have to bang this down to a blade. After I do all that, then I can worry about the curvature and all that good stuff. You just gotta, as you're flattening, you have to make sure that that fish mouth goes away with every heat. You fix it. Okay? If you get it, you get it. If you don't, great. A lot of times it's how hard you hit that hammer. Sometimes I hit that hammer so hard, I'm not really controlling it. I'm doing it too hard. Okay? Sometimes less is more. Alright? I do like to move metal fast, and since we're doing a video, I'm trying to go a little faster and hurry it up more than I normally would. But It is not straight yet. It is not finished yet. It still looks more like a spike than a knife. However, when I am done, this will look just like those other knives I have, and it's super easy. So I'm going to go ahead and put it back on time lapse so that you can just see me pound away and get the finished product. All right? So right now we're getting ready to do our twist. I got the rear long enough for me. I could go longer, but just doing a small knife demonstration. So what I'm going to do is set up my twist wrench for a regular spike, but then bring it back just a hair because I've been flattening it. So it's probably going to be even more so take it in after I put the spike in here. I'm going to put the spike at this width, and then I'm going to crank it in just a hair and have her ready to crank down, because when I put her in there, she is going to be red hot. Alright, you want red hot for twists. Alright, and at this point, this is where I say when you flatten those edges, you flatten those edges by when you put the tongs back on them to finish the knife. I like the edges flat for handles, alright, because it's better in the hand. But you'll see that at the end. Okay, so I'm going to pull this out and we're going to twist it. Woo! Red hot. Get your red hot. Alright, we know we want our blade to be about yay long. Alright. So we're going to put the twist there. Now I put it in the vise right there so that basically when I bring this sucker around like so, I'm going to do one full turn, make sure she's straight. Woo! They'll burn. They'll burn. Hot tamale. Alright. Now, if I touch this glove will catch fire. That's how hot that is. Obviously, because I was able to twist it with, you saw, hardly any effort at all. It's harder to swing a hammer than it is to twist the spike itself. So we're going to go ahead and get this sucker back out of here. Alright? And this is actually how I will be holding it the rest of the time. Because as you can see, right now she's a little crooked, but that's fine. We will straighten that up every heat. As you can see, she's getting flatter, getting a nice profile. So I'm going to put it back on time lapse, and we're going to go ahead and finish this sucker. I am going to put a little indentation right here. You'll see on the end of the anvil, and that's for my finger hole. That also shows me where my blade stops, so I know where I can and can't go with it. Alright? But you'll see that in the time lapse. I'll try to point it out, stop a little bit just to look, point at it. It'll be fast because it's a time lapse. Alright. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a little update. I got her back in the forge. As you can see, we've did a few heats. I switched to a bigger hammer when I was flattening out the blade, just to save time. Basically, you don't have to do that. It just takes longer and more heats. The smaller the hammer you use, you can still swing a smaller hammer harder.
So you could essentially move the same amount of metal, but I find it easier with the heavier hammer just for that part. I would not recommend a heavy hammer for the whole thing. One, you mess it up. As you see, when I tried to hot file it, when I was hot filing it, it was because I ended up with a fish mouth at the end, and I had to file it out of there. I could have ground it out, I could have, you know, got it out different ways, but I thought, hey, for the video, we do some hot filing. I thought it'd be cool. So we're gonna go ahead and finish it up with a little more time lapse until the end, and then we'll be done with the blacksmithing part. I'll show you the finished product minus the finishing. I'm not going to sand it on here for you or anything like that. If you guys want to see that process of me grinding it down, I actually am the cheap way of doing things. I use this right here to clean it up. It cleans it up, gives it a really nice shine, gets all the slag off of it, just makes it look really good. And then I take a grinder, because I only have a 1-inch belt sander that I got from Harbor Freight. All right, I got to get in here and get this. It's going to burn up. right, guys. I don't know how long I had to unplug it from the power. It seems like this GoPro 2018 works as long as it's plugged into the power. It records. I don't get it, but whatever. So I have a magnet. I'm bringing up the heat now because I am going to heat treat her. I'll cut that out. But what we're going to do here is I'm going to set the GoPro on the anvil. And what we're doing is we're making sure that magnet don't stick. Ow! But she don't stick. So she's good to be heat treated. Put her down in the ice cold water there. Steaming pretty good. And now we'll pull her out. We'll throw her on the wheel and I'll show you the finished product. Alright guys, so I just pulled her out of the water. As you can see, it looks like crap because of the heat treat and the slag and all that. So I'm going to show you real quick. I decided I'll go ahead, I'm going to put a little hat on to keep it out of my hair, but I'm going to turn the wire wheel on here and we're going to go ahead and clean her up. After this we could go ahead and finish it with the belt sander and the grinder, wherever the hell that thing went. But anyways, but I'm going to go ahead and show you on the wheel here how easy it is to clean up. Just so you know, you really need one of these wheels. It is super valuable for any time you're doing any finish work, whether it is water treated or if you're using cooking oil, because you use cooking oil if you're going to be using this in the kitchen, because it will basically make it water resistant so it doesn't rust as easy. It'll get into the pores of the metal. It will make it softer than the water does. The water is only for non-carbon steel. This has carbon in it, but not hardly any. Not a high content or anything. I mean, it's not wrought iron, but you know, it's not by any means high carbon steel. So this isn't what you would normally make a good knife out of, just because if you're going to make a good knife out of steel, you want some of this down here. This is I think it's 1080. It's either 1080 or 5160. Yeah, 5160. It is high carbon steel. It is for that. I've actually been working on a piece of that, which it looks really different because I've been making it a lot longer and getting a handle on it, because this eventually will be some sort of a big chopper or maybe even a short katana, like a Japanese kind of style sword. Katana is more of the knife, but you get the idea there. It's just something that ongoing project for fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this on the grinder. Yeah, and I know my bench is atrocious. I really need to clean it up, but it's been winter, and in the winter it kind of gets packed in with all the stuff, and I don't ever really get it cleaned out and looking good until spring again. But basically we're just going to go ahead and throw this on the wheel. Don't laugh at my hat, alright? It's just to keep the metal particles and the dust out of my hair. Safety glasses for sure on this, because you will get metal dust and flakes in your face and your hair. When you blow your nose after this, you might even want to wear a respirator, because you will blow black because you're cleaning all that black soot and metal off there. It might be good for your iron levels though. So if you have low iron levels, I know a lot of ladies out there do, maybe you might want to do some blacksmith and get a little iron in you. You always want to go down, and you never want to hold on to this piece, because if it was catch right now, I would just let go. By letting go, the piece would fly straight at the wall. It couldn't even stick in there if you go that far. That's why you always want to go down here It will catch if you let it. And when you're getting used to it, you probably will catch more often than not, just because you're totally not used to out using this. That's the other nice thing. This right here, see my fingers on it? It hurts a little bit if it stabs you, because a lot of those pieces are really jagged. But again, it's not a huge deal. And this will clean everything off. You'll see how nice and shiny this actually makes it. I really like this finish. If you notice, a lot of those knives I showed you earlier in the video, they had just this finish on it. All I do here is literally clean this off. I mean, I have to finish it, of course. I have to put an edge on it, grind it, you know, make the edges look pretty, make the spine look pretty. Normally I do that. I make the finger groove better, make it nice. When you do that, it will make the knife look way much better. But again, this is very soft steel, okay? It's not high carbon stuff. It's not going to hold an edge very well. It will hold a nice edge. But if you would do that to it after you put an edge on it, it could go ahead and put a little indentation in there, and then you'd have to sharpen it again. So people don't want to do that. These are typically used for like an aesthetics kind of decoration kind of thing. You know, you want something cool in your house that looks super old, but then it's also kind of modern with the railroad. I just think they're really cool. I really enjoy making these. There's not a whole lot of things I've done with blacksmithing that I don't enjoy, but these knives, every time I do one, I enjoy it. I mean, I've never, ever had a bad time making one of these knives. I've always just, like I said, it's just a really fun hobby to get into. If you want to make a little extra coin on the side, you know, I have a buddy that he actually sells a lot of his stuff. Now, of course, he works somewhere. We'll just say he works in the technology industry at one of the bigger name companies. So he works with a lot of people that do make some good coin. And with that said, you know, if you got a piece like this, I normally sell these for 40, 50 bucks done. You know, if I do something special with it, like put the dinosaur head on it, I may consider. In fact, I've never sold one of those, but they do take a considerably bit more time. Woo! Saw that? See how I wanted to go that way? Woo! And you see how I had my hand like that and it's catching it? I do that because I've done this a lot. But if you're doing it, you always want to kind of keep your hands back. You know, if you're doing this, watch, I'll try to let it catch. Yeah. But it'll catch it, it'll go if you're doing it like that. And by holding it like that, it'll never get your arm or your hand or your wrist or anything, and you won't get hurt. You know, safety's a big thing. You want to be safe. You know, if you like doing this hobby, you want to continue doing it. And if you're getting hurt making things, well, I don't care if you're making money or not. Who really cares? You're getting hurt. You know, I mean, I get hurt riding dirt bikes, and you know, I kind of look at that as it's just kind of a thing that comes with dirt bikes. They hurt you, but you know, I've never been real hurt on a dirt bike. I mean, my leg clicked, my knee, but you know, that's because I hit a car. I think we're doing about 65 when I hit it, and I dented the front to the rear with my knee. So of course, that is definitely going to leave some issues later in life. That was about 20. Yeah, it was 20 years ago now. Maybe 21. Shit, getting so old. But you know, things like that happen. You will get burned blacksmithing. You don't wear this or a face shield You know, sometimes I wear a full face shield depending on what I'm making and how much flag's coming off. Because, you know, you get a piece of hot metal come up and hit you in the face, it hurts. And it also gives you a mark on your face. You don't want your face to be all marked up. You know, I mean, you know, scars are pulling off, you know, chips like that. But, you know, they're not like super endearing or awesome or anything. So you can avoid a scar on the face. I would definitely avoid it. Alright. I'll put a little extra on that. Normally I wouldn't go that far because I still got to do the grinding. But go ahead and put it right here. Show you. I got some stuff in the way here, but that's that right there is a file. I just kind of was messing around. I know it's a piece of crap looking. Oh, that's that other camera I was filming a little bit with. This thing works great. The whole set I think is 40-50 bucks, and it comes with all the accessories and a kit and an extra battery. But there you go. You got your railroad spike knife. And you see how nice that finish is. I really like how it gives a shiny yet old medieval kind of blacksmith look to it. I mean, I really like that. I don't know how well the camera's really capturing it. It's 1080p, so hopefully pretty decent. But yeah, I mean, right now she has no edge on her. I didn't clean the spine yet or nothing, but that's about another. The finishing a knife, doing it good and not rushing, probably 20 minutes to half hour, you know. And then she looks really good. You'd have a nice finger thing here. Your spine would be nice and straight and polished, and your edge would be very nice and sharp. So I mean, well, relatively sharp in a half hour. But at this point in the game, she is she's pretty cool. You know, there's that full face shield I was talking about. I love those things. Harbor Freight. I think they're like $1.99. Can't beat it. But she's still good knife. She, you know, would stick in something right now and puncture her fine without putting an edge on her. Because, you know, I do forge to shape to where I want it. And did you see when I was slapping it like this on the anvil? I had a bend, and I had like a bend in the back, and it was like it was almost turned into a half C, or what my buddy likes to call the banana effect. Well, I learned from Jay Nielsen's DVDs. My buddy, he ordered those, and we watched them at his house. One of his tricks was showing you how to straighten out a spine when it's going the wrong way, is to do that, to smack it right on the back of the anvil in the spine, and it goes true again. So, well, I mean, there you go. That's spike knife. I don't know which one I'm going to give my buddy. Not my buddy the blacksmith, but I have another friend. His birthday's this month, so I'll give him this, and that'll be his birthday gift for me. I don't normally give him anything for his birthday. We're not, you know, that kind of friend. We get gifts for each other or anything. But hey, I heard from his wife it was his birthday coming up, and I figured this would be a really cool gift to give him. I guarantee you he don't have one. That's the other nice thing about, you know, blacksmithing and making your own things, is most people don't have this kind of thing. So if you make it, it's pretty cool. And that's my hat that keeps my stuff out. It's actually a hillbilly Santa hat. But, you know, whatever works. All right, well, I hope everybody enjoyed this Moto Mike blacksmithing tutorial, and if you guys like it, awesome. Let me know in the comments. If you don't like it and you don't want to see any more blacksmithing, also let me know. I won't do it, but I can, you know, do a lot of different things. I also want to start blacksmithing. Also blacksmithing parts for the dirt bikes and the motorcycles. So if you guys think of anything on the motorcycle, my regular viewers, the ones that are into dirt bikes, and you guys think, hey man, that would be awesome to have, like, I don't know, a let's just say a front sprocket guard blacksmithed, let me know. I'll come up with an idea. I'm kind of thinking about doing like a Mad Max kind of bike. So all blacksmithed, whatever can be blacksmithed, of course. I'm not going to touch the engine. I'm not going to touch the frame or the swing arm or the wheels. But any accessories, stuff like that, let's try it out. Let's do it. Let's do the blacksmith moto bike. I think that'd be pretty sweet. All right, till next time, guys. Keep both wheels on the ground. Don't forget, if you're not wrecking, you're not riding.